Thank you for joining us once again. I am Ashley Mazuri. Now, Lawrence Warunge, the main suspect in the murder of 4 family members and their laborer, is back in court to take plea after the court determined he is fit to stand trial. The court sent him for psychiatric evaluation after he confessed to the cold-blood murders, and he has been in detention since. Mark Namaswa has been following up on the case and now joins us live. Mark, I trust you're well. Have they taken plea yet?
Yeah, they haven't. We waited till 9 a.m. and it's now 1 p.m. and still they haven't taken their plea. Now, about an hour ago, Lawrence Warunge's co-accused, who is Sarah Mudhoni, said to be his girlfriend, was brought to court, but up until now their matter has not been brought up, even though their file had been called several times and the 2 accused had not showed up in court. It's not very clear why Lawrence Warunge hasn't been produced in court, but this places us in 2 scenarios. One, on 11th, when the investigators asked for 14 days to conduct their investigations, it meant that a miscellaneous file had been opened. But today, situation in which we expect the miscellaneous file to be closed, which will put us in 2 scenarios. One, they will close the miscellaneous file and the 2 suspects will take a plea. And the way things are going right now, it's only 1 suspect, Sarah Mudhoni, who is in court. Lawrence Warunge has not been produced in court. The second scenario that might happen is that we will have the police seeking an extension for further evaluation of the case concerning whether they are ready to proceed with the case or not. And that will mean that the 2 co-accused will not take plea until when the investigative agencies are ready for the case to proceed. So that is the situation right now. Lawrence Warunge has not been produced in court, 1. And 2, the co-accused, Sarah Mudhoni, is still in court, but the matter has not yet been brought up.
All right, Mark, how many charges are they likely to face?
Now, this will depend on the strength of the case and according to what the investigators have been able to gather. So as it is right now, we cannot tell how many charges will be brought up. Of course, we expect murder to be one of the main charges that the 2 will face. But as it is right now, we have not seen any of the prosecution side presenting themselves before court. We just have 1 suspect, Sarah Mudhoni, in court. Lawrence is not yet in court.
Have you seen their lawyers by any chance?
We just saw police bringing the suspect in court, 1 suspect, Sarah Mudhoni, but we have not had an opportunity to speak to them because all this time we were trying to see whether we will have Lawrence Warunge showing up. We have been checking from the gate up to inside the courthouse and still no sign of Lawrence, which means since the 2 are co-accused, it means that their cases have to take off at the same time. So as it is right now, we are still faced with this situation in which we will have either, if by chance Lawrence shows up in court, it means that the miscellaneous file will be closed and they will take a plea. And that depends also on the judge or the judicial officer who is in charge of this case. But as it is now, time is still moving, and the greatest likelihood from my assessment is that the police might decide to seek an extension of days, either to continue their investigations and see whether they can sustain sustain a case that might carry weight in court or not. So as it is at the moment, we are still waiting to see whether the court will decide now that we have the main suspect has not been produced in court and update us on what is happening and why this scenario at the moment.
All right, so Mark, no sign of Lawrence yet, no sign of his lawyers. What about family members?
In such a situation, like right now, I've just seen the co-accused leaving the courthouse. So I'll have to go back and see what is actually transpiring. I've seen Sarah Mudhoni walk out of the courthouse. So it is up to me to go and find out exactly whether she is still inside, whether she's still part of today's proceedings or she's just being escorted outside for a short while. But as it is at the moment, it's a situation of waiting and seeing what will happen. Information coming to us is still very scanty.
Mark, I am aware that you need to go out of court and see what's happening, but for the sake of our viewers, take us to how did we get to this point?
Now, this story broke on 6th January this year. So, according to investigations, the murder of 5 people might have taken place on the night of 5th January this year. So 5 members around the family of the Warunges were killed, including the father, Nicholas Njoroge, the mother, Amy Warunge, the brother, Christian Njenga, a cousin, Maxwell Njenga, and a farmhand, James Kinyanjui. Then this happened on a Wednesday. Now, 2 family members were not present. 2 female family members were not present. They were said to be in school. And the third one, who is now the main suspect, Lawrence Warunge, was also missing in action until he showed up, or he was found on Friday. And he was found, he led the investigators to a spot in Maimahiu where he claimed that is where some of the items used in perpetrating the murder were hidden. Now, investigators have been trying to piece together a situation in which one family member supposedly killed 5 people within the family and one who was a worker. So they're trying to piece together the situation and find out how did this happen, when did this happen, who are the other players that might have been involved, because after Lawrence supposedly confessed, the girlfriend came into the picture. So it has been a very puzzling situation trying to picture a case in which a family member decides to massacre almost the entire family. And from the look of things, it does not look that intimidating to be able to perpetrate the supposed murder. So as it is right now, it is a situation in which we expect to see from investigators whether they can prove Lawrence is of sound mind to be able to answer the charges, and try to gather bits and pieces of information from both him and his girlfriend on their supposed role in the murder, and if there were other external players in that scenario, and what was their main motivation for doing that.
All right. Thank you very much, Mark Namaswa, for that update. Of course, Mark Namaswa continues staying on that beat. We'll be giving